Are you ready for a good time? Today I'm making Bolivian pasteles de queso, a delicious breakfast, and since there's just a few ingredients, I don't always have it for breakfast. I like to have it for a late night snack. So you're gonna need to have a stand mixer and you're gonna add 3 cups of flour. And don't put your flour away just yet because you're gonna need some for dusting. Add your baking soda.
Are you sure it's baking soda and not baking powder?
Yes, it's baking soda today. And start sifting. Is it my jeans? Did my jeans bring that out of you?
It's your ears. I love your ears.
Oh, thank you, sis. I love you too. I wished you so much love on IG yesterday.
Thanks, girl.
You the best.
Someone's got to.
Next, you're gonna add your salt, sugar.
Come back.
Lard. And it's very important that for this recipe you use hot water. If you're wondering what this cute little thing here is, it's a Hamilton Beach stand mixer. You press a button, it's gonna open up. And I'm gonna be working with this one today because the other mixers tend to be a little bit more expensive, and for those of you that are just getting started in the kitchen, not only is this affordable, it's easy to work with and it gets the job done. So with the hook attachment, you're gonna go ahead and place your bowl in. You're gonna secure it. This is making me feel like a kid again. I'm loving this. I'm gonna start at a slow speed and then I'm gonna slowly pick up the pace. Make sure to stop periodically to make sure that everything is combining well. And once you see it look like this, you're gonna add the remaining water. You don't want to overly hydrate this dough. We just want it to be exact, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like in just a moment. And boom, done. After 6 minutes, our dough is nice, mixed, and well combined. It has to be a little bit firm and not overly hydrated. So if you go like this and you can feel that there's water, you've already added too much water to this combination. Remember, we want them to be nice and crispy. And this is a way to do it. You see that when I pull it this way, it tears like that? That's a good sign that you're in the right place. So go ahead and make a ball out of your dough. Place it in your bowl. I'm going to place a dry kitchen towel over that, and I'm going to let this sit on my counter for 20 to 30 minutes so that our dough can get nice and delicious for us to stretch. And when your dough is rested just like your mom on the weekend, you want to start making some balls. Remember I said it can't be overhydrated, and that dryness right there, don't be scared if you see it. It's necessary for this recipe. You want to make a nice ball, and you'll see that when you're pulling that ball at the end, it's a little bit tight, and that's exactly what you're looking for in your dough. Continue making your balls until you run out of your dough. And for my ladies making these balls that have arthritis, not to worry. I suggest that you cut them and then roll them up into little balls. That way you're not hurting your hands, because this dough is a little bit tougher than you would use for making tortillas. And with the size of my beautiful hands, I ended up with 8 balls. Some of you might end up with 8, some of you might end up with 10, and not to worry, this is going to be delicious. Dust a little bit of flour on your counter. Take your ball and press it down really hard into a circular motion. Next, you're going to start in the center of your ball and you're going to start stretching your dough. And you're going to keep stretching it until it looks like this. When you have it that long, you're going to go ahead and flip it to the side. And you're going to stretch it a little bit more. We want to stretch this dough nice and thin. Move it again and continue stretching. You want to stretch this really thin as you possibly can, so that you can have a perfect pastel de queso. See, easy to pick up without tearing. And it does require a little bit of elbow grease, but hey, if you like baking, you should already be there. And if you don't worry. If it feels a little bit tough, you can leave me a comment. Cloud and I will reply to you, but it's gonna be okay, I promise. Once your dough is nice and stretched, you're gonna add a big handful of cheese. The cheese I'm using today is mozzarella, but if you can get a hold of queso criollo, I definitely suggest you go with that. Now with some water, we're gonna seal the edges. You're gonna flip this over, and as you're flipping over, you're gonna press to release some of the air bubbles that can possibly be created in there. You get to the edge, start pressing, pick it up, and you'll see, like even right here, like with the roller, you'll see that there's an air bubble in there. And if you see a little bubble, get the tip of your knife, poke a little hole, and not to worry, with the roller, we're gonna continue to seal all the edges. Remember, you want to seal all your edges nice and thin because we want a thin, crispy pastel de queso. And just for reference, I want to make sure that you guys can see how thin your dough should be. Now with the sharp knife, you want to make a round cut. And don't get rid of the extra little pieces like this. You can fry them and dust them with a little bit of powdered sugar, and boom, an extra crispy snack. And this is where you want to bring out the Views Club Junior. You get a fork and you have them press around the edges. A fork in dough will always remind me of my childhood. Such a blessing, so easy and so comforting. Pressed to perfection, and now it's time to fry. With an uncoated wooden spoon, wooden chopstick, or a toothpick, you're going to place it into your oil. Once you see vigorous bubbles, that means that we're ready to fry. If you see smoke at the top of your pan, that means it's too hot and you're going to have to cool it. How are you going to cool it? By turning your burner off and setting it to the side. You have to make sure your oil is hot enough. If your oil is not scorching hot, you're not going to get those beautiful bubbles that you see there. This shouldn't take you any more than 30 to 45 seconds to fry. You're going to quickly flip that over, and you can already see how golden and crispy that other side got. Our dough is rolled out so thin, it's going to be crispy, gooey, and delicious in here. And just like that, we are ready to serve. And last, you want to dust some powdered sugar over the top. Make it rain as much as you want. Ooh! Cloud already giving me the eyes. Hey, you forgot a part with powdered sugar.
You can have them without powdered sugar, but I prefer powdered sugar on both sides.
My kids prefer powdered sugar as well.
They're probably counting where the rest in our bellies.
They're gone. Ooh. Nothing gets me cheesier than seeing some cheese. And just like that, we have some perfectly fried, crispy, cheesy, gooey breakfast, lunch, or dinner, as we mentioned. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe as much as Claude and I do. It's so good. Wow, absolutely delicious. It's time for you guys to look away because it's gonna get dangerous.